morning, readers! I am really excited about today's mini lesson. You don't know this, but I have actually been waiting since the very beginning of the year to share what we are going to learn today in reading. Some of you have already noticed what we're going to talk about today when you're reading. And for some of you, today will be the first time you think about it. But no matter where you're at in your reading journey, today's lesson is important. So put that antenna-scope on and get ready to play with some word patterns. Now, yesterday during reading, we talked about some common spelling patterns that we can recognize in words to help us know them right away, like at and op and an and og and en and un and et and ug and it and ig. We see these a lot in words, like the pattern at we see in sat and splat. So just like we can recognize consonant clusters like sp, and know that sound that it makes right away, when we're reading, we can also notice these common spelling patterns, like AT. We don't have to stretchy snake it, at. We just know that's at, like in spul, at, splat. Do you see how much easier that makes reading? So if we had to solve the word splat, we would see the spul, that gang of three, that three-letter consonant cluster, and know it's spul. And we would see the spelling pattern at and know it's at. So we could, instead of going spul, at, splat, which takes a long time and sometimes we can get lost when we're reading it, we can just say spul, at, splat, and solve it lickety-split because we know the word parts in the word. Readers, today we are going to learn some more spelling patterns, but this time the spelling patterns are a little more tricky. They're some of my favorite spelling patterns. Are you ready to see them? The first tricky word pattern we're going to look at is ix. Now I want you to think of a word that ends with the sound ix. Turn and talk. Mighty-o, yeah? You might have said six. Six ends in ix. You might have said mix, like my mixing spoon there. Mix ends in ix. You might have said fix. Fix ends in ix, like my little hammer there, fixing stuff. So sometimes x can make us a little nervous because we don't see it a whole bunch, which can make it seem kind of tricky when we're trying to read it. But now you know that when you see a word that ends in ix, it makes the sound ix, like in six, mix, and fix. Let's look at another tricky spelling pattern. Ed is one of my favorite spelling patterns because you see it all the time. And you use it when you're writing about what happened in the past. Even the word happened has the ed ending, has the ed spelling pattern because it happened in the past. Can you think of some words that end with ed, with d, or ed? Turn and talk. Ideo, yeah? All right. Did you think of some words that end with d or ed? Maybe you thought of the word excited, like I was excited. You're talking about how you were feeling excited. So excited. Nice job. Sometimes people get stuck on that E. They say things like excited, but it doesn't sound like ed. It's excited. And sometimes you don't hear the ed at all. Maybe you thought of the word played. Here is one of those examples. See my little girl playing soccer? This isn't played. It's just played. You don't hear the E. So sometimes when you're talking about what happened in the past and you're using the spelling pattern ed, you hear the ed, like in excited, but sometimes you don't, like in played, where it seems like it should just have a D, not an ed. That's what makes this a tricky spelling pattern. But you know the secret, readers. You know that you try it one way. Played. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Let me try it without the S sound. Played. Yep, that sounds right and makes sense. That's the word. Let's try another tricky spelling pattern. I am so excited because this is my favorite spelling pattern of all time. Mrs. Norton calls it the magic ing. It's like fairy dust. You add an ing to anything and it makes it happen right in the moment. Can you think of a word that ends with ing? Ing? Turn and talk. Mighty-o, yeah? So readers, you might have thought of a lot of different words that end with ing. I thought about the word exciting, which transformed our feeling excited. See how we're remembering how we felt excited in the past to exciting right now. This is exciting. The magic ing changed it from something that was used to be happening, that was happening in the past, to having it be exciting right now. And I changed played, I played soccer, I'm remembering played, that I played soccer, to playing, I'm playing soccer right now. That magic ing is truly magical. So readers, when you are reading and trying to solve words, or when you are writing and trying to spell words, remember these spelling patterns that can be a little more tricky, because if you remember them, they can help you read and write lickety-split.